You are listening to an exclusive interview on Bass Musician Magazine. The interview starts now.
So, over these years, talking about bass players, damn, you have played with some of the best bass players on earth. Let's talk about some of these guys. Who are some of your favorite bass players that you've tripped out with? And let's talk to our peeps here and drop some vibes on them.
Yeah, I have worked with some of the greatest bass players out there. I've been blessed enough to work with them and share the spirit with them on songs, on record, and live as well. One of my favorites is Randy Jackson. A lot of people know him worldwide from American Idol.
American Idol.
Before then, he was Journey's bass player, Billy Cobham's bass player. Me and Vinny Colaiuta did his bass video. I did 3 of Richard Marx albums with him that was just poetic, and he co-produced some of the stuff as well. And I love his feel is so funky and so incredible. His sound is so amazing, inspirational. We work together extremely well. I work with Freddie Washington, Freddie. He's another legend. And bass, and he's played with everybody. He's a truly incredible bass player, and he got great, incredible feel, but it's very smooth. And his timing is impeccable. It makes it easy for me when I play with bass players like him and Randy. Darryl Jones on Michael Madonna's Blind Ambition tour, and we just communicated recently that he heard my presentation for Drumeo on Smooth Criminal, and he was so impressed. He said, "I forgot how great it was playing with you." He took me back to that time and how your precision was and your feel was. He said, "I want to do something again with you." So we're talking about maybe putting something together. The possibility of a super group that we may be in the works here. We miss working together a lot because we had great chemistry on the Blind Ambition tour. It was just an incredible band, and working with Darryl was just so much fun and so much easy. He's so smooth, so articulate, so professional, just amazing. As well as he worked with, everybody's measuring stick is Miles Davis. So he worked with him for a number of years, and he's just prolific. And now he's been with the Stones since I think '93. He's their bass player. He's a Stone. He's a Rolling Stone.
That must have been hard for that to happen. Again, that's kind of like almost a family band in the sense that, to slide in an outsider and have him actually turn into be an official Stone is actually quite the undertaking.
Can you believe that? That's incredible, man. It's really incredible to have that as an honor.
I think it's like you and the Jacksons. It's like you kind of are kindred spirits, and you kind of both winded up in like 2 of the world's most relevant, like insane bands between now and the time the Earth is exploded. You are that, it is quite amazing. So what other kind of guys? Anybody else that you...
Nathan East. Nathan East, another tremendous legend in the industry. I work with Nathan on Richard Marx albums, and he's another measuring sticks. I call these kind of guys measuring sticks to all other bass players. For the talent that they develop in their own voice and their playing, and their professionalism and the levels that they've reached. Nathan plays with Phil Collins. They play with everybody on so many records and stuff. Nathan East is another favorite of mine, that I've been able to play with. Marcus Miller is another one, played on the Richard Marx album with me, even though we wasn't together in the studio. It was like we played together. I love playing with him. I would love to do something with him live. I haven't done that yet, but he's so incredible.
And our bearded friend, Mr. Lee Sklar,
as well on a Richard Marx record too. We played together, and it was remarkable. He is so musical and knows exactly the right thing to play. His touch and his feel is just legendary as well. And he's a beautiful spirit, a beautiful person.
Yeah, he's amazing. I got to interview him a couple of times.
Did anybody ever ask you to join ZZ Top? Or
I wish.
You got to do a thing with ZZ Top.
When I met Billy Gibbons, one time Dusty Hill shot himself in the foot cleaning a gun. And when I met Billy, I said, if Dusty ever shoots himself again,
call me.
He said there was a fantasy of his, and I said, yeah, you'd fit right in there. But
yes, he would.
But he is a really funny guy. He has a signature Warwick bass, okay? Just to talk about his humor, okay? And he's got this switch that he's got put on there that he calls the producer switch, okay? And what happens with this switch is it does nothing, right? So when he has some like producer who's busting his balls and he says, why don't you give me another sound? He goes and he flips this switch and he says, does that sound better? And they usually go, yeah, that's it. And it does nothing. A testament to the humor and to the amazing man
That is so funny. It's placebo, right? That's crazy, right?
Oh, yeah, man. I think that is so funny.
Yeah, Sam Sims is another bass player I like. Working with Sam and I did Janet Jackson's tour 93, 94. He's an amazing bass player as well. Mike McKinney, who was a bass player for the Jacksons when I first got with the Jacksons, it was fantastic working with him as well. He's incredible. His energy on stage was just incredible. And he was guiding me through my first tours with the Jacksons, how they work and everything. So working with him was fantastic. We had a great time. There's so many bass players that I work with, I enjoy playing with. And all of them have slightly different voices in their style, and their touch and their feel and their expression on the basses. But they all are fantastic.
And that's the common element. What's the common element there? Again, like you were telling me when it comes, yes, they may all be different. Yes, they may all have something a little different to offer. But in order to become one of those guys that is actually favored by a guy like you, what is the base sauce?
I would say, well, there we go back to the foundation of professionalism. It's about learning your parts, knowing your parts, having a feel that the artist likes, but also about discipline, not to overplay. Say Madonna, Michael, the Jacksons, George Michael, artists like that, Janet Jackson, they want discipline on their music, at least for the element in the era I was working with them. It was very strict in that respect. And, you give them what they need, and you save what they don't need for your own record. Another good bass player I work with is Don Boyette, and he's amazing. He played on Michael's Bad and Dangerous tour. And he did the Cirque du Soleil, Michael Jackson Estate Immortal tour with me a few years back. He's funny. He have us cracking up all the time.
Would you think that a bass player is usually the guy who's the smooth one in the band who holds the things together? Because I seem to think that, and I think a lot of bass players are kind of the guys who just bring everybody together on a family basis and try and mellow shit out, or they're not troublemakers like guitar players. I think guitar players can easily start a beef.
Yeah, bass players are very cooperative. They want it to work. They want it to be good, a good show, a good record. They're very, very easy to work with, and they're spirited in the nature. Every instrument has a certain nature to the character of the individuals that play that instrument. Drummers tend to be a lot of times wild and out there and aggressive or funny and fun, but they're more adventurous and they get out there and make things happen and make jokes on people. Bass players always been smooth and cool. That's one reason I want to be a bass player too, because bass players, I admire their coolness on stage. There's some of them that run around the stage and they have a lot of great time too, but they still was cool doing it though. Guitar players, I want to be up front. I want to be the noticed one. They're more aggressive and more give me the attention. I want to be the focus. And a lot of them that I work with are prolific at the instrument. They deserve to be the focus at certain times. Some of them overly so want to try to take over the show. Like you're saying, there's a reputation for guitar players. Like I want to be upstage everything, but most ones I work with, they're very professional as well. Although they're a little bit more out there than bass players, personality-wise. And keyboard players are pretty reserved as well. If you're working on a professional level, Michael and Madonna, Elton deserves to be out there and be the ones getting all the attention because they're the artists. That's understood. A guitar position is a position of shine anyway, because you're up front on stage. And that's another reason why I want to play bass or guitar. I want it to be up front. I don't want to be stuck in the back like drummers are. Like I want to be stuck in the back. But it's cool, because I came to realize that, you can be stuck in the back and still have a strong voice and be seen and heard as well, and your approach to your instruments. So I don't have to be up front.
Is there any bass players that you haven't played with that you would like to play with?
Stanley Clarke, of course, immediately comes to mind. I would love to play with Stanley Clarke. Alphonso Johnson is another one. He's an incredible, prolific bass player. Something that'll surprise you. I come to find out from his brother George that they and I are related. We're cousins, so he would. That's amazing, right? So I would love that work with Lewis. We never got a chance to play together, but that's a dream got away from me. But he's unbelievable. He's one of the measuring sticks in bass. Him and another one would be Larry. Larry Graham. Graham. Stone. I would love to play with Larry Graham. So it would be unbelievable. Bootsy Collins, please come on. I would love to hook up with Bootsy. I know all that James Brown stuff, so I've studied that extensively in my young learning career.
Thank you for checking out BassMusicianMagazine.com. the face of bass.